Decisions are made by a specific person without the consultation of experienced teachers, who are then imposed upon to carry out policies or systems that are defunct or unclear. Have you had a great experience with your school administrator? Have you experienced being disappointed by them? Do you believe that school administrator can do more to improve teacher career life? Administrators are constantly interpreting policies, setting expectations, and establishing the school culture, which will inevitably impact on the quality of teachers' work and the education that students receive. Whilst a high number of teachers are working in near utopic or emotionally intelligent work environment, an equally high number of teachers are experiencing administrators who are either creating or sustaining unhealthy working conditions. Let's explore some of the ways school administrators disappoint teachers and, by extension, add to the shortage of teachers in the profession. Sometimes administrators make decisions, develop policies, and pass on mandates for their teachers without teachers' input. Often these policies and mandates create compromising working conditions and have detrimental impact on students' overall learning. Some of these policies are so ambiguous that any two teachers reading could formulate different conclusion and hence application. This puts teachers in positions of compromise because they are unable to operate with a uniformed voice and fails to achieve the consistency that is required from students and the wider school community. Teachers end up facing backlashes that could have been avoided had the policies and mandates been clearer to give a uniformed interpretation to the school community. The lack of teachers and middle leaders' autonomy is also an extension of the autocracy leadership in schools. This results in middle leaders given prescriptive responsibilities to manage rather than the opportunity to lead. Decisions are made by a specific person without the consultation of experienced teachers, who are then imposed upon to carry out policies or systems that are defunct or unclear. Teachers are equally stuck with most of their actions being prescribed. This, along with the highly micromanaged culture, breeds discontent, lack of commitment, low levels of productivity, and teachers become less loyal, all factors for high staff turnover and career exodus. When teachers work with administrators who deny them autonomy, they are not given the opportunity to regulate their professional development. Professional development goals are therefore not determined by teachers' capacity to reflect and evaluate on their own developmental needs in conjunction to areas of development identified through a rigorous professional management program. Therefore, training provision becomes narrowed, and teachers feel that they are not given the tools that they require to fulfill their professional obligations. This tells teachers that administrators do not fully trust their judgment or abilities, and that they are not valued enough by their employers to be invested in more meaningfully. Educators and teachers are disappointed by administrators disregarding their value and contribution that they make to education and the school community. Teachers working tirelessly are often overlooked for ones that are simply opportunistic. Exceptional practitioners feel their professional integrity is frequently questioned, and other stakeholders are valued and prioritized more than teachers and educators. Teachers are sometimes last to be informed, poorly supported when mistreated, patronized with baseless compliments, micromanaged, belittled, and simply not respected. These are some of the factors at the top of the list from teachers leaving their employment or the profession. Some school administrators have very unreasonable expectations of teachers, both with their time and with their duties. Some are more overt about it than others. When teachers set boundaries between their professional and personal life or showcase a level of integrity that does not conform to administrators' expectations, they can become malicious and seek to belittle or demean educators. When teachers highlight the unreasonableness of the expectations, administrators question their ability to fulfill their duties and psychologically manipulate staff rather than providing them with the resources needed to be able to realize the targets and expectations set. This is another indicator of poor leadership and creates high levels of stress, demoralized staff, reduced productivity, and increased fatigue and staff turnover. Teachers have several duties and responsibilities that are simply expected of them, although not actual duties that should be required of teachers. Additionally, society, school, and students expect teachers to constantly give of themselves more than any other career demands. The email load, the limited planning and preparation allocations, unnecessary paperwork, demanding parents, demand of free labor from all educational stakeholders are causing increased burnout in teachers and forcing them to choose between their health, their family, and their profession. To add to these already disappointing situations, many teachers feel unsafe and unprotected against verbal abuse from students and parents, and there are those teachers who are experiencing physical abuse. Furthermore, teachers' pay packages, the lack of holiday grant so that they can afford vacations during peak periods, needing to buy resources from their already meager salary, compounds teachers' decision to look elsewhere so that they can reap more from their skills without the burnout or unfair burdens. Many outside of the education sector would not realize the level of bureaucracy that is present within institutions. It is overtly displayed in many institutions that the aim is to have the documentations up to par for any impending inspections, following archaic rules because some leaders are stuck in the distant past, keeping up appearances, nesting on students for the period they are in attendance. Many institutions are simply pacifying some of the problems students present with to buy themselves time, sending increasingly more defective students onto the next stage of education where they become someone else's problem. Teachers who are called to education are often incensed by these ideologies, and when they choose to make a real difference, they either become a target for senior leaders or realize they are a drip in an ocean and relent in absolute despair. It helps when teachers understand that managers are not necessarily leaders and that most school administrators are managers. Additionally, poor managers micromanage their team and can only see one way of accomplishing tasks and will not value input from others or other criticisms taken positively, although they are the first to dish them out. Teachers need to decide on who they truly serve and how they can fulfill their duties to their students. Decide on whether it's the profession that you've lost passion for or simply the management and culture within which you currently work. Explore whether conversations can be had to improve your working experiences, or it is time to find a better working environment in which you can add value and be appreciated.